What's up, spiritual soldiers? It's your favorite spiritual sister, Dominique Valentine, and I'm back with another video for you guys today. Okay, welcome back to my channel, Spiritually Spoken 1111, and we're here to turn up. It's like I'm just playing. Anyways, we're not here to turn up. We're here to actually discuss just a couple of signs, just a few that I've experienced myself that lets me know that I have some type of angelic DNA in my system, in my DNA makeup, whatever you want to call it. But a lot of us may feel like that. A lot of us feel like we've derived from constellations as well as different, type of reincarnated spirits, gods, spirit guides, and everything else. But I've always had this feeling, and not just from myself, but from those who surround themselves with me, that I'm some form of an earth angel, okay? So I wasn't the first person that called myself this. I actually got this kind of information from somebody that I was receiving an in-depth Akashic record past life reading from. And so like several aspects or several different past lives of mine were actually touched on and spoke on during that spiritual session with somebody that I was receiving some spiritual advice from. And she also informed me that not only am I a light worker, but I'm also an earth angel. And of course, there are a lot of light workers on this earth. No, I don't feel like everybody is a light worker. Not at all. Not the whole world is light. It is soulless beings here. And there are people that are put here specifically for the intent to spread evil. I hate to say that, but hey guys, just like in other spiritual realms of spiritual war, I also feel like on the physical plane that there are some people that are dark workers and there are some people that are light workers. So no, I don't agree with those who say everybody's a light worker. It would be no need to call it a certain thing if everybody was it, okay? So, at the end of the day, I was told by the specific reader that not only was I a light worker, but what was considered an earth angel. And I'm like, well, what is that? It simply just means that you have angelic DNA. And most of the time, people really can't tell when they cross paths with you. Most of the time, like I said in the other video, which I will leave the link in the description, that the one video that I posted a couple of days ago saying they can see your light. And this is just another STEM video that's kind of, stemming off into this. So one thing you will notice is that everybody will notice that you are different than anybody they ever met. Most people would define you by unique, eclectic, even weird. But at the end of the day, you have a very soothing presence to most. You have very angelic, I don't want to say very angelic look, but your face can look a lot more innocent than what you may feel you are on the inside, because essentially I do feel like there's a certain level of innocence to all earth angels, seriously. So my innocence is, that I can be kind of childlike at times, and I do feel like it's a possibility that most earth angels will have this quality where they're really childlike, and that's the reason why children are really drawn to us, is because we embody childlike qualities. We laugh a lot, we smile a lot, we have different dimensions to the pitches in our voice, and that's another sign that we're going to lead into. But people are drawn to not only our spirits, but people are actually drawn to our eyes, and people are actually drawn to our faces, because essentially they feel like we just have an angelic look to us, as well as the way we make people feel. In addition to the way we make people feel and our aesthetic beauty, I do feel that people feel drawn to us for guidance. And I've already spoke to you guys about this before with they can see your light. Essentially, it's that angelic light. So this is just a video that's going a little bit more in depth. However, this won't be a long video either. Another very prominent sign that you are an earth angel is that you have very, very early on memories of life. And I don't know about you guys, I don't remember as far as me coming out the womb, but I really do remember memories from within the first year of my life. So I am a February baby, so wait, how many months would that be? March, April, May, June. It might have been about June. when I experienced the hottest day of the summer for the first time. And I remember exactly how that felt. And I remember as a child, as a baby, my inner dialogue was all I had, of course, because you don't have a voice other than to cry. And, you know, there's different cries to exude different distresses. But with the heat that I was feeling, I was sitting on the couch. And so I was about 4 or 5 months. I don't know if my mom had me sitting in a bouncer or what, but I remember specifically sitting on the couch, her sitting on, you know, sitting next to me. She was watching All My Children. And I remember that it was All My Children because years leading on later, of course, you know, that song was repetitive and repetitive in my mind, the intro song to All My Children. So I do remember at that time, I was sitting on the couch. It was my first summer. I was unable to speak. And so I know that I was still a baby. And I was just thinking to myself, what is wrong? The world is about to end. Why is it so hot? This is not normal. But of course, this was my first summer, so I never experienced hot weather before. I also experienced sitting in the grass a little bit later in my first summer and eating the grass, picking the grass and eating the grass, and remembering how I thought it was much prettier than what it tasted, I guess is what I was thinking. I remember the first time I ever sipped from a straw, and even though I couldn't express myself, I found it really funny that everybody was so excited about my first time sipping from a straw. Like, everybody was so excited and celebrated, like, oh, she did it! And I'm just thinking, like, I'm a baby, but I'm not that dumb, guys. What's going on? It's just a straw. But I was, like, so shocked, but thinking it was so hilarious. Like, what the hell? So I know I came from a different life. I know I reincarnated into this physical body from being here many lifetimes. And, you know, just because you're an old soul don't mean there's nothing to brag about, because essentially being an old soul just means you're a slow learner. And you probably perpetuated the same energy, same behavior, same lessons that you didn't learn from the last lifetime to the next, to the next, to the next. And I can honestly admit that I'm very stubborn when it comes to learning lessons, and that most of the times I have to learn them multiple times, or I have to have something very painful happen to me in order for me to realize, okay, somebody's trying to get my attention, you know. But even with that still being said, I'm so early on in my journey that, of course, it'll be a little bit more difficult for me to understand. Last but not least, your innate desire to want to help others. Aside from people just recognizing who you are as a person, you will be disliked by a lot of people, which I also stated in that video. So I'm really going to put it in the description bar because these videos go hand in hand. But you will really be unliked by a lot of people. Reason being is because you reflect something within you that is uncomfortable about them, that they are uncomfortable with about themselves. So essentially your presence, your high vibration, your angelic, you know, likeness, your glow. Some of us embody, or we exude a certain light about us, you know. It's almost like halo or angelic, like, I don't know. But the thing is, if you ever met an earth angel, you were spiritual, you would just about know that they were an earth angel, because they exude, encompass, and embody so many angelic qualities. This is the type of person that you would like to keep in your life. This is the type of person that will always have your back. This is the type of person that will make sacrifices in order to help others. And maybe that's not the most healthiest thing.